Welcome to St Patrick's, described by English Heritage as a striking and unexpected accent in a wholly rural landscape. What you see here is not the original church, for St Patrick's began as a chapel of ease to the parish of the Church of Tamworth in Arden, some 3 miles to the south of here. So your guided tour begins outside the west entrance. Viewed from the path, the decorative stonework is typical Victorian Gothic revival, with crocketed gable framing an arch, richly moulded with dogtooth ornament and bands of foliage. Detached columns with formalised leaf capitals on either side reflect the early English style. Surmounting the arch, the figure of St Patrick's looks down from a pointed trefoil, his hand raised to bless the visitors as they arrive. Above the oak doors, with their decorative wrought iron hinge plates, sits a sculptured medallion depicting the Ascension. So we move on to the inner porch. This is a small but richly vaulted vestibule in the base of the tower, above which is the ringing chamber, accessed from the door on the north side. The stained glass window on the south side depicts the Good Shepherd and is in memory of Charles MacGugan. In the vaulted ceiling above, 8 stone bosses decorate the joins in the groins with a variety of leaf designs. Look out for the oak leaf boss that has lost its acorn, and the coat of arms of the Burman family above the door. And now the nave from the porch. First impressions are of a high, imposing, rather restrained space leading to a raised and highly decorative chancel. This is typical of Bidlake's style of architecture and design, with even the 5 tall 2 light windows on either side having simple curvilinear tracery. Decoration is kept to a minimum and is confined mainly to the roof area, where the frieze is stenciled with vine, interspersed with fleur-de-lis and IHS monograms. Each roof truss is finished with a different corbel face, bearing a variety of expressions. And now to the raised platform. This was built in 2002 to enable services and concerts to be conducted from in front of the congregation. The font, featuring carved emblems of the 4 evangelists and an impressive brass eagle lectern, are now mounted on the platform. Above the font, on the north wall, is the pulpit, believed to be the highest in the Birmingham diocese. On the south wall is a war memorial tablet which lists those local men who were killed in the 2 world wars. Also on the south wall is the parson's window, 2 lights in stained glass depicting the figures of St George and St Martin, given in memory of father and son Charles and Eric Parsons. On either side of the platform are steps down to the crypt vestry situated below the chancel. The intricately carved oak chancel screen, which separates the nave from the choir stalls, is made up of 6 highly decorated ogee arches, integrated into a fine perpendicular style. High up on the walls, in niches on either side of the chancel arch, are the carved stone figures of St Patrick and St Chad. And now to the chancel itself. This is raised high above the level of the nave in order to accommodate the vestry below. The chancel houses the choir stalls and organ loft. It's worth examining the beautifully carved poppy heads, 8 octagonal shaped ends to the stalls, all of which are different and depict various plants from the Bible. The organ was made by Nicholson's of Worcester and was given in 1913 by Miss Florence Miners in memory of her mother, and was probably from another church which had closed. The roof above the chancel is highly decorated with 180 stenciled shamrocks and the monograms IHS and SP, St. Patrick with intertwined serpents. On either side is a frieze of stenciled vine, broken up with square stylized flowers. 8 stone corbel faces look out from the walls. A fine view of the east window can be seen from here, with its 5 lights of stained glass depicting St. Thomas, St. Patrick, Christ in Majesty, St. Mary Magdalene, and St. Anne. And now to the sanctuary. Step up through the altar rail to view the low moulded arch openings into the small vaulted sanctuary. Above the arch recline 2 stone angels swinging thuribles, that's incense holders, an indication of the Catholic influence in this building. Central to the space is the altar, with its finely embroidered frontispiece featuring the Lamb of God emblem, and flanked by the IHS monograms and decorated with vine, oak, acacia and ivy foliage. The elaborate reredos behind is of oak, with flamboyant tracery, a frame of thickly carved vines and an oil painting by Frederick Davis of Birmingham, depicting the Last Supper. Angels are everywhere, in stone on either side of the altar, kneeling in prayer, painted above the reredos, rising in glory, and in the 2 stained glass windows proclaiming holy ground. The sanctuary has a stone-ribbed vault with highly decorated stenciled compartments featuring vine, oak and passion flower, with the monograms IHS and XP. And so to the chancel steps as we turn and face the east end. From here, a clear impression of the size and height of the nave can be gained. Looking to the roof with its simple arch trusses, it is easy to see how it was once likened to the keel of an upturned boat, and from where the word nave is derived, navis being the Latin word for boat. And now for the west end from the nave. This is an equally well decorated end of the nave, with a balcony springing from vaulting over the west door and flanked by 2 large murals depicting the life of St. Patrick. The balcony was built in 1913. It has intricate oak vines making up a frieze around the outer face, with carved figures of a bishop, a king and an apostle looking outwards. The murals, painted by Bernard Sly, a member of the Bromsgrove Guild, and also dated 1913, show St. Patrick leaving France for Ireland and preaching to the King of Ireland on Easter Day. The area to the left of the west door is the baptistry and originally housed the font. It is surrounded by a richly carved oak framework with ogee arches, crocketed pinnacles and stylized roses and lilies.